and someone else with perhaps holes on defense can speak to them now. We're bringing our next guest, Mike, from
seamless
Atlanta
link,
Falcons, UK.
Seamless link.
Do you like the segue? How are you doing, Mike?
I'm good, guys. How are y'all?
We're good.
Very good. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you joining us.
Absolutely. And if y'all don't want Malafanu, we'll take him. I actually mocked him to us in the fourth. We obviously didn't go that way, but I've got to say I'm pretty happy with the way the Falcons have and Terry Fontenot's approached the draft. A lot of people are, for whatever reason, upset that Kyle Pitts was picked at number 4. I don't get it. They're the same ones that don't want Matt Ryan in Atlanta anymore, and I know there are 31 other teams who would love to have Matt Ryan, but I just don't see us. You don't pick a quarterback at 4 and use him as a project quarterback. Like, I'll be happy to make vet minimum to hold a clipboard for 17 games or more if we go to the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean that's about as useful as Fields or Lance or Mac Jones is going to be. Besides, we already picked up the Mac Jones once he hits puberty and AJ McCarron. So, but no, I mean, we do have several holes on defense. We're really, I think we're really wanting to shore up some of this secondary and get some players that can really be versatile on the field, because Dean Pease is the kind of guy that, I mean, he'll have the kicker blitz if it'll help. So I'm not too worried about edge rusher. I would like to see someone like Shaka Toney come to us. He's a little undersized, but he's quick and he's a good situational pass rusher. I see a lot of Takk McKinley in him in his play style, not as the rest of the stuff. But I think picking him up in day 3 is going to be good. I'd also like to see a good another hard-hitting safety. You know, we picked up the kid out of UCF, Richie Grant. He's been working with one of our safeties in the offseason, and so he's we're really excited about him. He's a hard hitter. He's gonna be good for us. But maybe getting somebody a little bit heavier to come in to those big sets, like maybe Talanoa Hufanga from USC, played flex linebacker and safety. He's a hard hitter. Again, he's not a liability in coverage. But I think secondary's got some really big steals in it. You've got Richard LeCount out of Georgia, who before his motorcycle wreck was getting first round grades. So I could see anybody picking him up late 5th, early 6th, and taking a flyer on him. But we do need some edge rushers. We do need some. I would like to see a big boy in the middle of the line, someone like maybe Daryl Slayton. He's also out of Florida, teammate of Kyle Pitts. He's 6'6", and last time he weighed in, he was 350.
Wow, big boy.
So you're
big
looking,
fella.
Yeah, you're looking at the same size as like Vita Vea, Vince Wilfork. Just big guy. He's not going to be much of a pass rusher, but he will soak up some of those blocks. And he'd be like he wouldn't be an every down player, but he'll be but he's doesn't need to be coming up in the 5th.
Yeah.
So if we could just rewind back to
Sure.
to Pitts, because I think this is fascinating, and I just want to say as well, like we loved the pick. We thought that was a really good pick. We would have been delighted if Pitts had fallen to us, because we could see Dan Campbell like matching him up with TJ Hawkinson and just creating like loads of mismatches. But one of the things that I kind of thought before the draft, bearing in mind that the Falcon, I think Matt Ryan's a great quarterback. I think he's probably around 10th, 12th best QB in the league. And I think anyone that doesn't want him on their team is crazy, particularly when, for the age that he is, he doesn't have a big injury history, and he's a reliable guy. But bearing in mind how your defense has performed over the last couple of seasons, where you've lost so many games because you've just not been able to make a stop, would you have been in favor of, like, if they had have traded back and maybe taken like JC Horn or Patrick Surtain or someone like that could make a play and turn the defense around?
So if we had, it takes two people to make a trade. Mm-hmm. And I think with San Francisco going up to third, and then Sam Darnold coming down to Carolina, and Teddy Bridgewater going over to Denver, it really devalued our pick as far as like going up to get somebody. I mean, you see Justin Fields drop to 11. I mean, Chicago was comfortable being right there. So I don't think we would have been able to trade back. And this year's defensive class, while some of the positions are very deep, some of the classes are very deep for their positions, I don't see anybody that would really be the type of game changer that Kyle Pitts could be at 4. I would have loved Surtain. I'm an Alabama fan. I grew up an Alabama fan. Surtain is massive, and he's fast and he's great. I would love to have him on the team. JC Horn is a great cover corner. Same with Newsome, same with Caleb Farley. There's so many that would have been great in the mid round, in the mid first, but we didn't have anybody that was willing to pay up for a fourth. But then, I mean, Terry Fontenot went in the second and made some magic, moved back 5 spots and also moved up 105 spots. So, getting rid of the pick 219 to go with 114 when we played with Denver in the trade. So, and that's when we got, we gave up Javonte Williams, but really we've got Mike Davis. I like him. He's a good north-south runner. And there's plenty of running backs in the draft, and I think we really got a good guy in Richie Grant.
You broke a lot of our hearts with Richie Grant.
Yeah,
he's a big favorite of ours.
So do you think, in taking Pitts, do you think that could spell the end of Julio Jones on the roster, or do you think that that's all a bit of a smokescreen? Or
so we do have cap troubles. It's not a secret that we're having some issues with the cap, and we need to move some people, or we need to move some money around to get through this year. Next year will be better. We'll still won't be great as far as cap is concerned, but it will be better because we'll have about $70 more million to work with. As far as Julio, though, again, we really need somebody, we need another party that will be willing to not only take on his contract, but give us the draft capital, or give us the bodies that we need to be able to walk away from Julio. I don't see any team really, even after June 1st, I don't see very many teams that are going to be willing to give up, first round picks, or first and second round picks, and then a couple of developmental guys to get Julio. I really don't, because it's a massive contract. Our best bet is for him to restructure, is him to agree to restructure in a way that kind of drops our cap, his cap hit this year, and then kind of goes back to normal. There have been a few players that have done that. They've taken a massive pay cut for the year to backload it into the last couple of years of their contract, to help teams with this very unique cap situation. I love Julio. I would like him to stay. At the end of the day, it's a business, though. So if we have to go away from him, we have to. But I think if we can figure out a way to keep him, this will be another historic offense that the Falcons have put together. And, with Pitts, Hurst, Julio, and
Ridley, yeah.
Yeah. You can draft as many JC Horns as you want, but you're not going to be able to cover. Like, the only person that I can see, Carolina got JC Horn, and I was talking about it with the Falcons UK guys, with Kyle and Danny, and I said, there's nobody on that team that can cover Kyle Pitts, not even Jeremy Chen.
Yeah.
There's not many people in the league that'll be able to cover Kyle Pitts. He's massive. He's upsettingly fast.
He really is.
And I know he's going to drop a couple of passes his rookie year. Everyone does, but I think it's important to know that he hasn't dropped a pass since his sophomore year.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable record. Just got a quick question from a viewer on YouTube, Big Reedy. He said, "Are the Falcons closing in on the Bucks and Saints this season?" And the way I'm viewing this is, closing in is not competing with, but is closer to than last year. Do you think that you're improving and they're perhaps not?
I wouldn't say that the Bucks are not improving. I think the Bucks are the class of the NFC South right now, as much as it pains me to say it, because I crapped on the Bucks for so long, and I will continue to talk trash about them. The Saints, on the other hand, I haven't seen them improve. Like, they've gotten a couple of things. Peyton Turner, I'm not sure why they decided to go with him in the first. I had to look him up. I didn't know who the hell he was. And then what's that kid out of Ohio State? Werner.
Pete Werner.
Yeah, Pete Werner. I watched him play because I did watch a lot of Ohio State last year. Well, not a lot, because they only played 7 games. But quite a bit of Ohio State, and he was aggressively decent. He was not what you would say a game changer in any way. He was an enforcer. He hit hard, and that was about it. Now with their pick with their corner in the third, that was probably their best pick of the draft so far. But they're already pretty deep at corner. So, is it really a great pick for them? And they've got some holes in offense. They need a receiver that can stretch the field beyond Emmanuel Sanders. They need a quarterback that can go the distance with them. I don't see Taysom Hill being the future of the Saints, because dude's 31, 32. Like, you don't call a 32-year-old the quarterback of the future. And Winston,
and he's learning. Taysom Hill's still learning the game in terms of how to play quarterback. And at 31, that's it's hard to learn at that age, I think.
Well, let's call it like it is. He's not a quarterback. He is a good college quarterback, maybe, but he's not a good NFL quarterback, and he's not going to be. He's a glorified running back quarterback. He's a wildcat quarterback.
Yeah, he really is, and it's he had a good opportunity, and he's a good gadget player, but that's about all he's going to be. And Jameis Winston, how you really needed 2 or 3 years with Drew Brees for Winston to break his habits and get good fundamentals.
Yeah,
if they don't get somebody that can go and compete, I could see them picking up somebody like Jamie Newman in the draft, and Newman could actually compete for start day one. No one would trust him to start, but he could. I don't see. I think the stock on the Saints is starting to fall, because they lost a lot of good talent in the offseason. They haven't really replenished. They still have Mike Thomas.
Who doesn't seem very happy with life.
I mean, well, it's because he gets made fun of for getting 175 catches for 1,100 yards, whereas other like he can lead the league in receptions and still be 8th in the league in yardage.
Yeah. I mean, just for me, the thing about the Saints is that their offense runs through Kamara. Hill couldn't use Kamara particularly effectively, and I think that Jameis is, a big deep ball passer. Does he have the touch required to put Kamara in the situations he needs to run that offense? We're coming to the end of our time, but I just want to go back to the Falcons and just speak about the rest of the draft on day 3. You've spoken about a few names that you would like. Is there anyone else that you're perhaps targeting you haven't mentioned already?
I wouldn't mind seeing Gainwell, the running back. He's a good perimeter runner. My daughter's feeding me lunch right now. But I mean, there's so many names and so many people that I haven't gotten a chance to look at yet. I really just want to. I'm going to trust in Terry's vision. He's given us 3 impact starters. Straight up, and I've got a feeling we're going to have 1 or 2 more starters and probably 4 impact players that you'll see on Sunday. So I'm going to trust him. I'm going to trust his best player available, and let Dean Pease work his magic on the defense, and we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll go to the playoffs.
I've got just one thing that I have to kind of like talk about, and I just want to apologise for this, Mike, in advance, because you seem a lovely guy, but I just want to qualify it as well in that the Lions fans have not had a happy time recently, so we have to take our moments of pleasure where we can. So I have to mention this particular incident.
Oh, Mike, you can leave if you like.
It was a moment of a rare moment of happiness for us, and that was the Todd Gurley touchdown that shouldn't have been. That shouldn't have been. We watched it, and obviously there was just bedlam because it was like I said, a rare moment. On the other side of like the fan coin, what were you guys saying like when that happened?
So I'm in IT, right? Good job. I'm in IT, and one of the jokes that we have in IT is task failed successfully, and it really was a microcosm of our entire season. We did so many things right for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
and we made so many good mistakes and so many just terrible decisions that benefited us in the short run, but ended up screwing us in the long run. So it just kind of summarized the entire season. And when we saw it, we were just like, this might as well happen.
It was a crazy moment, an absolutely crazy moment. And it was one of the most we had a pretty miserable season, but it was probably like 2 or 3 amazing kind of like sort of back and forth games that we were involved in. And, the Falcons played their part in the drama because they played great in some parts of that game. But yeah, it all went spectacularly wrong.
I think the Falcons had a fantastic season in general for the first 3 quarters of games anyway.
Yeah, until the special teams forgets how to recover an onside kick or
that was such a horrible game.
Was that the Cowboys game?
Yeah, that was the Cowboys game.
No.
It's just the type of stuff that was happening. But good news, Dallas, y'all have Dan Quinn now, so good luck with that. especially if Mike McCarthy can't run a freaking offense. And in the first half of the season, so the second half of the season, Dan Quinn might be your head coach. So really good luck with that.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for. We've come to the end of our time, Mike, but thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything you just want to plug or tell us about Atlanta Falcons UK or anything like that?
Yeah, check out Atlanta Falcons UK on Twitter and YouTube. They're a bunch of great guys. It's at ATL Falcons UK, and they like to do live streams all the time, and they'll talk Matt trash on Twitter, just like any other Falcons fan. So yeah, check them out. They're great guys, and we'll see. Thank you all for having me, and we'll catch you later.
Fantastic. Cheers, Mike. We'll see you soon.
Cheers, Mike. Nice to meet you. Bye-bye.